21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
So anybody who's been in leadership understands the challenges when it comes to hiring and keeping high quality people engaged. I think even more so, we've all felt the pain of getting it wrong. You know, the sleepless nights of thinking about having to let that person go. The frustrations you have when they're creating problems and threatening to sue you or take you to HR, right? And then the people who are super nice but just can't get the job done right. You spend weeks, maybe months, thinking about how you're going to exit this relationship, only to wonder is the next person going to be any better. We're all in the people business, not the thing business. I've thought about hiring and getting the right people on the bus and building high performing teams literally my entire life. Since I was 16, I wrote my first paper. I was captain of my football team, student body president. And I was enamored with the idea if you could just assemble the right people on the team, great things are going to happen. You're going to win those championships. You're going to conquer that business goal. You're going to have a fulfilling, engaging environment where you look forward to working with these people and conquering the next challenge or climbing the next mountain. So when I was 31, my father passed away relatively suddenly, and he had this really cool suite of talent assessments, and he's the guy who inspired me to think about business and leadership from a people first perspective. And I left my successful career corporate job and I took on his legacy, and I get to share that every day. But I had imposter syndrome, I think, like many of us experience from time to time. And I said, who the hell's going to believe me, this 31-year-old, really kid? And why should you trust me when it comes to talent acquisition and hiring and leadership advice, despite some of the wins that I'd had early in my leadership careers? So I'm a Maxwell guy, right? 10,000 hours to excellence. I'm inspired by people like Kobe Bryant, who get up every day and just do the work. Um, and I set out to interview over 10,000 job candidates, and I did it. I think I'm at about over 15,000 today as it stands. And I wanted to put my money where my mouth was. So I spent the last 10 years working with over 2,000 CEOs and business leaders, teaching them best practices on talent selection and recruitment marketing. And I've done it alongside them in the trenches, interviewing, assessing, and evaluating the results at the end of the day. Who turned out to be a talented team player and who turned out to be a talented terror, or worse, a problem generator. So in that journey, we had to develop a framework for how to do this efficiently, effectively, and leveraging methodologies that are statistically and scientifically proven to drive results. And over that time, we leaned into and developed what we call a fact-driven hiring system. It's designed to make $1 million hires. And that might sound outlandish, but at the end of the day, getting it right or wrong is the difference between hundreds of thousands, if not millions. So we wanted to make that system something that's easy to implement, it's repeatable, and process driven, like any good business activity should be. And when you're dealing with humans and hiring, it's one of the messiest and least process oriented activities. And as we support these business leaders in doing that, we developed the Discover.ai recruitment automation platform to support all of those best practices to make executing the nuanced steps and techniques that are required to get it right every single time 10 times easier, or to automate a lot of those activities, to support educating and all the best practices that we've practiced ourselves, we've validated, we've researched, and we're teaching to leaders every day. Getting hiring right is something I think every leader kind of knows in their bones, right? The question is, do they know how to do it? And, I start with reflecting on my own, leadership and educational experience. And I've actually asked this of leaders and HR professionals. Were you taught how to hire in college and university, or where did you learn how to do it, frankly? And I think 99% of the time, the answer is, well, I sort of just figured it out, or I watched a mentor, a leader earlier in my career and sort of emulated what they've done. And maybe some have read the books and have spent some time studying it. But at the end of the day, no one teaches us how to hire. It's a business skill, a leadership skill that is just overlooked too often. But we all know it's important to get the right people on the team, and none of us like to hire folks that become behavioral problems or challenges, or who underperform or unreliable or cause problems. So we want to begin to implement that a framework that's repeatable, a system that is based on science and facts, not on kind of winging it and a gut feeling. And that's the core of who we are and what we do. For those of you maybe watching on video, you see my backdrop. It's a pyramid. And we coach and educate business leaders and executives and CEOs on how to implement and execute $1 million hiring systems. That content is free. You can Google my name. I'll come up on the first 10 pages of Google, and that's on every podcast, every article, every scientific journal that we've published, YouTube videos, LinkedIn. You'll see it. You can consume it. And I often spend a lot of my time speaking to business leaders pro bono, understanding their challenges and offering guidance and insight. It's part of our core values. We believe in educate first, and that means we educate ourselves. And as I mentioned before, I've spent years and years thinking about and practicing what we've learned. We do extensive scientific research with universities like Virginia Tech and Arizona University and Bowling Green State University, who's considered top in the world for talent assessment. And we share that readily with everybody out there. So I encourage folks to reach out to us, to just, have a conversation or to check out our websites or check out some of our content. When it comes time to put and implement the tools and the systems in place, that's where we developed Discover. We wanted to make that task, that nuanced, multifaceted task, as easy as possible to implement because it's a difficult subject. It's a challenging thing to get right. If you're an entrepreneur, if you haven't read this book yet, you should. But the E-Myth Revisited, it's got to be world famous. And if you started like me or many entrepreneurs, you started from your garage and maybe one person and maybe a family member helping you out, and you played that role of technician, and maybe you graduated to the role of manager. But many small business leaders have yet to accomplish or reach the pinnacle of their entrepreneurial goals of becoming the entrepreneur and being able to work on their business or allow their business to work for them as opposed to them working for it. And the people you hire, the people you develop, the people you nurture within your organization, at the end of the day, are the number one key to unlocking entrepreneurial freedom. So look, if you're ready to conquer hiring and get it right every time, we're here for you. I'm here for you. I'm easy to find. I was blessed with a very unique name. Fletcher Wimbush, W-I-M as in Mary, B as in boy, U-S-H. You can Google that. I'm going to come up on every page. I hang out on LinkedIn. Shoot me a message there. I'll send you a calendar link. We can chat. If you're interested in the tools that we offer, check out discovered.ai. There's a great set of tools and things that you can check out. A lot of them are free. So take advantage of the free tools there. The coolest free tool, if you're a leader and entrepreneur and you're in a growing business and you have executives and HR people, I encourage you to check out our fact-driven hiring system, e-learning. It's an 8-hour e-learning course. We'll give it to you for free. You can find it on the discover.ai website. Use the promo code HIREBETTER. Get that for free and get your hiring managers, your HR, your recruiters, and watch it yourself. And it's all of the research, it's all of the science-based backed strategies that we discuss and that we teach and that we try to support with the tools and other services that we offer. It's yours free. Take advantage of it.
"21st Century Entrepreneurship" with Martin Piskarik.
Imagine a space where triumphs, trials, and tales of entrepreneurship come alive. Welcome to the 21st Century Entrepreneurship Podcast, a gold awarded journey hosted by Martin Piskarik, connecting with listeners in 95 countries and ranking in the top 0.5% of all podcasts. Join our exclusive community, elevate your perspective, and embark on the path to success.